Hey everybody, what's up? I don't know. The sky, definitely. So happy Thursday, and we're almost to Friday. Things are getting, I don't know, maybe a little better. I guess it depends on who you are and what's going on. Some things are starting to lift in Lawton and Oklahoma and throughout the country, and other things not so much. So we'll see what happens, but we always have yoga, so that is a good thing. So let's see. Let's yoga, Miss Kelly Hill. Yay. All right, so let's roll the magic rubber dice, or whatever you'd like to call it, and see what pose we're going to come up with. Woo! Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. And we got knees to chest, Apanasana. So, hey Ann. All right, exciting. So we're gonna start off with our sun salutations. So find a wall and let's get going. And of course, anybody else can join us later or watch the video. So let's come into mountain pose, bringing the feet to hip width apart or wider. Arms are down by your side, palms are open. Let's start that deep yoga breath. In and out of your nose, but not feeling it in the back of your throat, right, Kelly? On your next inhale, take the arms up, interlace the fingers with the index fingers pointing. On the exhale, we're gonna bend to the left. Ooh, that feels good. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bend to the right. Inhale back to center. Separate your hands, soften your knees, and fold forward. Oh, yeah. Into your standing forward bend. Let your head lead you on the inhale. Rise back to standing. Palms come together. Hands into your heart. We'll step to the wall. Extend the arms fully. On the exhale, coming down. On the inhale, coming up. And then we'll inhale and take the left leg back. Making sure that the right knee comes over the ankle. And continuing to breathe. Lengthening through that heel. Inhale, stepping back up. And on the next inhale, we'll take the right leg back. Because we got to be balanced. Well, as much as we can be balanced. We're not a very balanced crew, are we? Inhale, coming up. Exhale, walking out into half down dog. Lengthening your tailbone. Breathe. Inhale, coming up. Push away from the wall. Almost fell down when I pushed backwards. Inhale, bringing the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to the shins. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise back to standing. Hands into your heart. On the inhale, sweeping your arms out to the side and up to the ceiling. Interlace your fingers. On the exhale, we're going to bend to the right this time. Inhale back to center. And exhale, bend to the left. Inhale back to center. Separate your hands. Soften your knees. Fold forward. And groan and moan because it feels so good. That would be a moan, not a groan. Okay. Let your head lead you on the inhale, rise back to standing, hands into your heart, step to the wall, exhale coming down, inhale coming up. On the next inhale, we're going to take the right leg back, lengthening out through that heel. Nice deep breaths are continuing. And then we'll inhale, stepping up, and on the next inhale, take your left leg back. And always remember you can adjust your hands wherever you need to when you're doing this. We'll inhale back up. Exhale, come out into half down dog. Lengthening the tailbone. Inhale back up. Step back from the wall. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to the shins. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise back to standing, hands into your heart and to Anjali Mudra, and then down by your side. And then we'll come back to the top of our mats and come back into mountain pose. Really rooting down into your mat, feeling equal weight on each foot. So take a minute and a few breaths to find that place where you're equally weighted into the mat, you feel supported, you're breathing. Then we'll inhale the arms up, and we'll exhale and fold, softening your knees, folding into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. So you can take your hands to the mat, to a block, to the back of your legs. I'm gonna need my blocks too. Just let your head hang down. If you want to come into half standing forward bend, feel free to do so. Back up just a little bit. Then we're going to go ahead and take our first two fingers, wrap them around your big toes. Then we're going to push the toes down and pull up on them at the same time. That'll stretch your back out. Some people call this gorilla pose. I don't know. Whatever. Just a nice stretch. And then we'll go ahead and release. Breathe. Then let's see, on the next inhale, we're going to take the right leg back. You can keep that back heel lifted or set it slightly on the mat. Root down into your feet, especially the front foot. Inhale, we're going to rise into warrior one. So we want to make sure that the hips are level with the wall in front of us. The arms can either be up or in prayer. Breathe. And the body is at center. So if you feel like you're chasing towards the wall, then you know you're too far forward. You want to be upright. Because if you fall down, well, there's nobody there to see it, so whatever. It's all good. Just keep breathing. We want to make sure the ankle and the knee are lined up. And then we're going to exhale the hands down to the hips. Step the back foot in. Straighten the front leg. So balance out your hips again. Bring your arms behind you. You can either interlace your fingers or just push your palms toward one another. We're going to lengthen the hands towards the floor. So we're opening up the chest, drawing the shoulders onto the back. You can look straight forward or up to the ceiling. That's really up to you. Always listen to your neck. And of course, if you get dizzy, you don't want to look up. You just want to look forward. Just keep the breath going. Then we'll look forward again. Release the hands back to the hips. And we're going to exhale halfway over our front leg. And then you can either stay right here, or if you want, you can go all the way. And once you go all the way, you can take your hands to the mat, or in my case, I have them to my blocks on the medium side. Then you want to balance out your hips. So you're going to draw that left hip back, and the right hip will automatically come forward. If you need to bend the front knee, go ahead and do so. In pyramid pose. But of course, the most important thing is to breathe. Then on your next inhale, we're going to walk the back foot in to join the front. So we're now back in our standing forward bend. Then on the inhale, we're going to take the left leg back, making sure that the right knee is stacked over the ankle. Root down into your feet. Inhale, rise into warrior one. Because what we do on one side, we got to do on the other, right? Yes, yes. Opening up the chest. And again, if you want to bring your hands into Anjali Mudra, you can. If your arms get tired. Just keep the breath going. Then we'll exhale the hands down to the hip. Step the back foot in. Straighten the front leg. Now balance out your hips with the opposite wall. Bring the arms behind you. Lengthen towards the floor. Open up your chest. Pull your shoulders onto your back. And again, you can look straight forward or up. That's really up to you. But keep breathing. Then we're going to look forward again. Release the hands, bringing them back to your hips. On the exhale, fold halfway. You can stay here or go all the way down into pyramid pose. Then you're going to bring your right hip back. Your left hip will come forward. And again, if you need to bend your right knee to accommodate the pose, go ahead and do so, because what you're trying to do is get your torso towards your leg. But a lot of people can't do that if their leg is straight. So just breathe. And then on the inhale, we're going to walk the left foot in to join the right. So we're back in our standing forward bend. Inhale, let your head lead you as you rise back to standing. Hands into your heart. All right, so it's Thursday, so I feel like a balance challenge. Yay! So let's see, what should we do today? How about if we do standing half bound lotus into baby dancer? So you can either do one or the other or both, it's up to you. Of course, the most important thing is get your focal point first. You're going to start on a strong left leg with your thigh engaged. When you're ready and you're focused and breathing, you're going to take your left hand, grab hold of your right foot. So now the sole of your foot should be up towards the ceiling and the knee is down towards the floor. You can take your right arm wherever you'd like, whether that's up to the ceiling or behind your back, out by your side. The important thing is to keep breathing, but remember, if you do take your arm up, you have changed your center of gravity. So if you find that you're not really balanced or you're having problems, then you want to keep your arm down because your center of gravity is just about behind your navel. Then, of course, when you're ready, you're going to take the foot down, switch it into the right hand, and open up into baby dancer. And of course, you are welcome to use the wall or strap if you need them. Then when you're ready, you can release your hand, release your foot, shake it out. Yeah. And then we'll go to the other side. And of course, you determine when you're going to switch. You don't have to switch when I switch, but then you'll have to catch up later. All right, so nice, strong right leg. The thigh is engaged, but the knee is not locked. Find your focal point. Take your right hand, grab hold of your left foot. Once again, the sole of that foot is now going to be pointed to the ceiling and the knee is going to be towards the floor. Take your left hand wherever you'd like. Just keep breathing, keep focusing. And then whenever you're ready to switch, it may be now, it may be in a couple of breaths, you may have already switched. You can release the foot, grab hold of it with the left hand, woo, and open up into baby dancer. Just stretch and breathe. And then we'll, woo, on the exhale, release the hand, release the leg. I fall into the wall and then I trip over my blanket. That is strange indeed, but typical me, right? I do my own stunts and sometimes on purpose. All right, so once you've finished with your balance challenge, get the fan going again. It's a little hot in here. We're going to come back to the top of the mat. Since I have the fan going now, I can't go all the way up with my arms. So I'm going to go ahead and move the phone down so that we're on the next level. Whoops, didn't mean to get my thumb in it. Let's see if I can get it straightened out. My mom used to do that. Like every picture my mother ever took her whole life, her thumb was in it. I'm like, Mom. Okay, so we're going to inhale, take the arms up, except I'm not going all the way because the fan will chop my hands off. We're going to exhale, fold back into your standing forward bend, but this time let's bring the hands down to the mat.
And then we're going to exhale and walk out into downward facing dog. So soften your knees, get your hips up in the air. Shift your torso back toward your legs. Nice deep breaths. Then we're going to inhale. Let's come out into plank. So you're going to bring your feet back and in toward one another. Level out your body. Push into your palms. Nice deep breaths. Then we'll exhale the knees down to the mat. You can either come through 8-point to the mat, or if you prefer, you can just shift back and crawl down onto your tummy. But if you want to go through 8-point, take those elbows in. You got to keep them guided in. And as we start to descend, the buns stay up, and we inchworm down, and the buns come down last. Either way that you've made it to the mat, bring your hands to the base of your chest and keep your elbows guided in. If you have a hard time doing this, you might want to widen your hands out a little bit. Tops of the feet are flat, knees are lifted. Let the breath and your hands raise and lower you in Cobra Pose. And you may get a really good raise in Cobra. Your belly button stays on the mat, of course. It really depends on the strength of your arms and the strength of your breath in your belly. And then we'll exhale down. Let's go ahead and bring the arms down beside our legs. Palms are facing in towards the legs. On the inhale, we're going to lift upper and lower body, coming into locust, and Kelly will start flying. Woohoo! Breathe. And exhale down. Bring the hands back to the base of the chest, drop the knees, and let's push up onto all fours. Now I'm going to go ahead and get a blanket to cushion my knees. And my right knee is still a little bit tender from that fall that I took several months ago. Boy, it's tough getting older. You don't heal as quickly. It sucks. But it's getting there. But I'm still going to use this. So let's go ahead and go into camel pose, Ustrasana. So if you want your bolster behind you, you can put your toes on it or the tops of your feet. If you want a block to assist you, put that out to the side. You know where you're going to go in this. Just always listen to your back and your neck. We're going to bring the fist to the low back. Make sure the knees are about hip width apart. Elbows are guided in. On the exhale, we're going to push the hips forward and then go. Wherever you want to go in camel, whether that's down to your heels, using the bolster, using blocks, just breathe. And of course, you are in charge of when you come out of this. So of course, when you're ready to come out of it, you want to inhale and then start to come up. Do so very mindfully. And then if you've dropped your head back like I did, go ahead and bring your chin into your chest. That'll just open up the back of your neck for a bit. And just kind of hang here for a couple of breaths, just to kind of get your breath back. Because when we go into camel, sometimes we get a little winded because that is a pretty intense pose, you know. So just kind of get your breath back. Everything's all good. All right, so let's grab our blocks and we're going to do shoulder stretch on the blocks. So if you want them on the high side or the medium side, that's fine. Set them out in front of you. And of course, I'm sitting on my shins with the tops of my feet flat behind me. But you have to do what's comfortable for you. It's your practice. Well, it's my practice too, but you know. All right, when you're ready, bring the palms together, hands onto the upper back, and then we're going to come down onto the blocks. You decide where you want your head to go. So kind of keep in mind as you play with this, if you keep your neck lined up with your spine, it's a different stretch than if you let your head hang down. So it's up to you. If you don't feel a good stretch, Then make an adjustment with your blocks or your head or both. But keep breathing. Opening up the chest, nice stretch in the upper back, the shoulders.
On the exhale, we'll come back up. I get a nice stretch on the back of my upper arms as well. Oh, dang it, I touched my face again. Ugh. I try so hard not to. Okay, so now we've got that done, we'll kind of move the blocks out of the way. So I'm going to do one that we haven't done in a while, and I used to love this, and then I kind of was like, I don't know, and then I'm kind of back to like, yeah, let's do it again. So we're going to do thread the needle. If you really hate thread the needle, then feel free not to do it. Again, it's your practice, and it's not like I can see you, so I can't give you a hard time. I mean, I can give you a hard time, but I won't. So let's come back onto all fours, and we're going to start with the left arm way out in front, and your knees are underneath your hips. So on the exhale, we're going to knock your block over, thread the right arm through. We're going to come down to rest on the side of your head with your right arm extended, and then if you want to, you can go ahead and straighten your left leg so your toes are on the mat, or if you want to lift your left leg, you can. If you want to lift your left arm, you can. It's up to you. Just breathe. Ooh, try not to fall over if you're like me. And then hand back to the mat, left leg back to the mat, drop your knee, push with your left hand to bring your right arm up. Then we're going to take the right arm way out in front. We're going to feed the left arm through. Rest on the side of your face and your shoulder. Lengthen your right leg out if you want. If you want to lift it, lift it. I know y'all got my back view now, but you're doing this so you can't look at me. And if you want to take your right arm up, go ahead. Woo. And then release the right hand and the right knee to the mat. Push into the right hand, and up we come out of thread the needle. Yeah. All right, so now we'll either come into child's pose or happy puppy. Y'all know how this goes, so stretch it out or relax back on your heels, whichever one you prefer. And of course, if your body won't reach your heels all the way, that's not a big deal, because a lot of people, even with their knees spread as far apart as they can get, still cannot get their buns back to their heels. So that's okay. The point is to rest in either one of these. Now, I like happy puppy because not only am I resting, but I'm getting a really good stretch. In child's pose, I'm not really getting a good stretch. I'm just completely kind of rested back. But it's up to you. You know, pick the one you like. And if you like both of them, then one night you do happy puppy and one night you do child's pose. Just keep breathing. And then we'll exhale, walk the hands back in, and come to seated. So once we're seated, we're going to go ahead and extend the left leg onto the mat. Bring your right foot either to the left shin or up into the groin area. And if you need to adjust with props, go ahead and do so. Pull the buns out from under you, butt luggage, you're going to take a trip. And fingertips out to the side. On the inhale, we're going to bring the arms up. Palms will be facing one another, shoulder width apart. Lengthen coming out of your waist and your hips. Take an extra breath, Kelly.
And exhale, fold into Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose. Just taking your hands to wherever you're comfortable tonight, whether that's the outside edges of your foot, your shin, the mat. Of course, you can use your strap. You're welcome to do that. And then breathe. Keep your back flat. Keep your neck neutral. Nice deep breaths. Inhale, inflate the belly. Exhale, pull the navel back toward the spine. One more nice deep breath in. And exhale out. And come back up to seated. Then we're going to bring the right foot to the outside of the left leg. You can keep your left leg extended or swing it back so that that heel then meets your right hip. I like this. It feels better to me, but not for everybody. Bring the right hand behind you. On the inhale, bring the left arm up. On the exhale, we're going to twist to the right into Ardha Machandrasana, half Lord of the Fishes. So looking over your right shoulder or just to the right, whichever feels better for you tonight. You can use the back hand as light support, or you can actually use it to twist a little bit more. Just be careful that you don't go too far, because that could be ugly. And breathe. And then we'll exhale, turn forward, and release everything, extending the right leg, foot flexed. Bring the left foot to the inside of the thigh or the shin. Pull the buns out. Going on the second half of the trip. Fingertips to the side. Inhale the arms up. Breathe. Oh, stretch. And exhale, fold. Ooh, my legs are super sore. We've been trying to walk every morning at Cameron before we go to work. Sometimes we walk in the evening, but we try and go in the morning because it's cooler. So we walk a mile, and I pull the wagon with Sasha in it. But yeah, my legs are tight. Tight, tight, tight. But it feels good to get outside and get some fresh air. We see the geese, and there's turtles, and Bunny. We call him Funny Bunny. Yeah. Oh, we didn't do cat cow, so we didn't actually moo. False advertising. Sorry. Didn't even think about it. And then we'll exhale, walk the hands back in, and bring the left foot to the outside of the right leg. Again, you can keep the right leg extended or bring that back. Nope, we're going to stay extended. I'm still having trouble bringing that one back, but I'm getting there. Left hand behind you. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, twist to the left. Ardha Machandrasana. Just breathe. And then we'll exhale, turn forward to release it. Extend both legs out onto the mat now with the feet flexed. Pull the buns out once again. Hands down by your side. Elbows are drawn in. Relax your shoulders. So if you need to bend your elbows, you can. Sit up nice and tall. Then as we prepare to go into seated forward bend, if you need to widen your legs out, go ahead and take them as far as you need, the width of the mat if you need to. I wouldn't go much further than that because then you start into wide leg seated forward bend. On the inhale, we'll take the arms up, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Oh my goodness, that feels really good.
I woke up this morning at 5:30, I think it was. And I had Charlie horses all in my right leg. Oh my gosh. So I had to go in the kitchen and drink a whole big cup of water, and that always takes care of it. I don't know. It's weird. Just relax into this. You know, when you first come into seated forward bend, sometimes it can feel pretty stiff. The backs of your legs are pretty tight. But the more you breathe, the more you stretch, the better hopefully it'll start to feel. At least that's what we hope. Let's inhale the arms out in front of us, up to the ceiling. Interlace your fingers with the index fingers pointing, head between your arms. On the exhale, we're going to round the spine, coming into Mira Dandasana, spine pose. Just breathe. If you start to shake, embrace the shakes. It's just your muscles requesting energy. Then we'll inhale up, separate the hands, exhale, fold, and then wiggle your buns out from under you because they got squinched when we were in that. Taking your hands back to wherever you want in your seated forward bend. Try to keep your back as flat as possible. And of course, you're going to have some rounding to it. I mean, now that I'm doing these lives, I can see how I look in the poses, and I'm like, oh, my back's kind of rounded. But that's natural. You don't want to fight that, you know. You just want it as flat as possible. And then we'll exhale and come back up. So let's come down onto our backs. Oh, this is gonna feel so good. Yay. All right, let's bring the feet flat to the mat. The ankles are gonna be under the knees and the feet are gonna be about hip width apart. Palms are down by your side, pressing into the floor. On the inhale, we're going to lift the hips into easy bridge, Setu Bandha. If you want to roll and tuck your shoulders, feel free to do so. You do not have to. But you do need to release your chin away from your chest. Make sure that your knees are guided in towards the midline of your body. That helps your hips to stay up. Just breathe through it. Now, if you want to get a little more challenge into this, on your next inhale, you can take your right leg up to the sky, but you got to push into your left foot and your hands to keep your hips elevated. Then exhale that foot down. Inhale the left leg up. Once again, pushing into the right foot and the arms. Then exhale down and all the way down to the mat. All right, let's bring the knees into the chest, into knees to chest pose, because that was what we rolled on the dice, or the cube, or whatever you want to call it. It's not a cube. Whatever, the rubber thingy. Just feel the breath expand in your back. You can hold onto your knees, you can wrap your arms around your legs, whichever you feel like. Just breathe and feel your back expand. And then we'll either cross the ankles and rock and cradle rock, or you can come into happy baby, whichever you prefer. Keep the breath going. And then we'll come to a stop. Release your feet back down to the mat. We're going to take the right ankle onto the left knee. Then you're going to reach your right hand through the legs, left hand to the outside. On the inhale, bringing that knee in toward your chest.
or you can pretzel yourself if you want to do that. Then if you want to take your left leg straight up to the sky, feel free to do so. Or you can just stay in eye of the needle. Just breathe. If your left leg is extended, go ahead and bend that knee once again. You're going to take the left foot down to the mat, cross the right leg over the left. I'm kind of like out of the picture. Arms out to the side. On the exhale, we're going to twist down to the left, keeping the shoulders as flat to the mat as possible. Look up to the ceiling or over your right shoulder. And if you need to give a little extra weight to your top knee, you can take your hand either to the knee or to the thigh if you can't reach your knee. That's up to you. Feeling twisty. Then we'll inhale the knees back up, uncross the legs, bring the left ankle onto the right knee. One hand through, the other hand to the outside. Inhale, bringing the knee into your chest. And you can either pretzel yourself or take your right leg up to the sky or stay right here. For me, this one's really good to stay in eye of the needle because I actually get a really nice stretch in the back of my left leg. Feels good. But I know not everybody gets something out of this. Isn't that the great thing about yoga is we can do modifications to suit our bodies to get the best out of each stretch. I love that. If your leg is extended, go ahead and bend your knee. Right foot down to the mat. Cross the left leg over the right, arms out to the side. On the exhale, we're going to twist to the right. Adjust your shoulders to make sure they're flat to the mat or as flat as they can be. And then you can look up to the ceiling or look over your left shoulder. And again, if you need a little bit of extra weight, you can take your right hand to the top knee or to the thigh. This is some twisty goodness right here. Then we'll inhale the knees back up, uncross the legs, and you guys will start to go into Shavasana. I'm going to sit back up. All right, so get whatever props you need for Shavasana tonight. And you're going to go ahead and take the legs out to the width of your mat. Let the feet and ankles roll out to the side. Arms are down by your side. Close your eyes. Bring your breath back to its natural rhythm. And relax into the mat. Just focus on your breath.
Let's start to gently come out of Shavasana, getting some movement back into your bodies. When you're ready, rolling over to one side and rest there for a breath or two before coming gently back to seated. Coming back into easy pose, Sukhasana. Bringing our hands into Anjali Mudra. My final thought for tonight, and this is a hard one right now, but I'm finding that it's very, very important. Attitude is the little thing that makes a big difference. We got to keep a positive attitude going through all this, and I've found that the more you laugh, the better it makes it. Ken and I have been cutting up at the office, laughing all the time, so you got to be silly, you got to be silly, but keep that attitude going. Hope everybody is doing well. Thank you for sharing your practice with me tonight. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, and I will probably catch up with you again this weekend. Have a good evening.